preparing to live stream the meeting. So, okay, I'll just go back to Zoom and I'll just start talking anyway. See what happens. Got it. Okay. So you can now see it's also streaming live on YouTube. So hello, everybody. For those that are in the Zoom room and those that may be watching this live on YouTube, I'm joined today by Peter Mears. Peter has been with me before on a previous episode, Remap Your Life, and just give you a bit of background on Pete. He spent 25 years as an addict, addicted predominantly to alcohol and cocaine, and he's written a book about his experiences, and he talks about how the 3 principles saved him from depression and suicidal ideation. So welcome, Pete.
Thank you. Thank you.
So to start off then, would you like to tell us how you came across, what your life looked like prior to you coming across the 3 principles understanding, and how your life changed afterwards?
Wow. How long we got? My life before the understanding was hell. Just pure dark misery. Yeah, just caught in a constant cycle of drink and drugs day in, day out. Negative thoughts, it was just constant thinking about, drink mainly. And then when I came across the understanding, wow, what can I say? It's hard to look back at my thinking and what it was actually like. I can remember, the dark thoughts of suicide and stuff like that. But to actually, now I've got the understanding, obviously your consciousness rises. So it's really hard to, look back on that. But life now, wow, yeah, fantastic. Yeah, I'm living the life I always dreamed of. I'm free from addiction. Every day's brilliant. Every day's fantastic.
So you're writing a book at the moment. So could you tell us about what the process has been like that for you? What gave you the idea to write the book? Where your idea for the title came from? When it's going to be published?
Yeah, so the book basically is my life story. Child growing up, child abuse, all that sort of stuff. Going into my teens, starting work at 13 and a half. Eventually finding drink and drugs, and what life was like then. I'll go into detail there, about having liver tests and stuff like that, because I thought I had cirrhosis of the liver and things like that. And the book's really aimed at people going, stuck in addiction, but the people that we can't normally reach. So my plan for the book originally is to leave it in doctor surgeries, police stations, AA centres, bus stops, even rehab centres, anywhere where we wouldn't normally be able to reach someone. I'm not, the book's going to be for sale, obviously, on Amazon, things like that. I'm not doing it to make any money or anything like that. In fact, all the proceeds are going to the 3PGC. I'm donating all proceeds to them guys, because if it wasn't for the fantastic work they do and Sid's understanding still going, then I wouldn't be here. I know it for a fact. It saved me. It's really just to reach people in that dark place. It's not a big book, and I've done that intentionally because I know personally, being stuck in addiction, the last thing you want to do is pick up a book what's the size of a Bible or something, because you won't read it. You haven't got time. You're too focused and too busy on your addiction. I don't go too much into the principles. There is bits in that, but I've done that again intentionally, in the hope that if people see something or hear something, then they go and Google it and do some research themselves, and hopefully find their inner wisdom.
And what's your book called?
We're still working on that. The main title, I think, is going to be Tortured Soul. That's the name I've always had for it. And then there's going to be a subtitle, which we're not sure about yet. And I was going to say, we're aiming for it to be released in January. The book's finished. I've actually had a draft of it now, the third draft. Hasn't been easy, to be fair. Not writing about my personal story, just all the bits that go with it. So if it wasn't for my publisher, Maria, I sent her a load of papers, basically, from Word, and said, "There you go, there's the book." That wasn't a book. She's transformed it into a book. And when she sent me the first draft, I literally sat there crying my eyes out. Not so much just reading my own story back, but just knowing that it's going to help somebody somewhere. That's the most important thing for me.
Can you tell us about the story of the policeman on the bridge?
The suicide, yeah. That was the darkest night I'd ever got to. I've tried suicide a few times, taking pills and all that sort of stuff. But that night, I'd just given up completely. I walked up to the motorway bridge, stood there listening to the voices arguing still in my head, and I thought, that's it, I'm going to put a silence to you both forever. And literally let go. But I was paralytic, obviously. But I didn't know there was a policeman standing behind me, grabbed me, thankfully, Thomas. Going to be 26, I suppose, 27. There was nothing of him. But, he held me in his arms, and literally we just cried, the pair of us. We didn't say anything. Literally for about 5 or 10 minutes. And I go into more detail in the book, obviously, on that. But, if it wasn't for him saving me, then I wouldn't be here. But that's what really led me on to, okay, what do I do? Because I've tried rehab. I've had home detox and everything. Nothing's worked. So what's next? It's like, you saved me for a reason, so why? I believe this reason is obviously to be here showing you beautiful people.
And can you tell me about the first mind spa you went to? Because I understand from our conversations in the past, that's where you came across the 3 principles initially, was it, at the first mind spa?
No, my hypnotherapist, because I went to see a hypnotherapist out of desperation after the suicide attempt. I was just hypnotise me so I don't drink. Simple as that. But it wasn't. She refused to hypnotise me. And instead, she took me some EFT tapping techniques and that, but she put me on to Second Chance, which was one of Sydney Banks' books. Literally, I started reading at night, and things just started clicking into place. And it sounds so simple. And I promise anyone out there, it really is so simple. It literally is. It might not feel it. Don't get wrong, it took me a couple of months using EFT tapping techniques and that. But by reading it, this understanding, and getting more and more engrossed into it, the more I could see, it's just thought. We look on the outside so much for the answers, but the answer was always inside me. Sydney Banks, and literally I just dived into the principles. And then I can't even remember how I came across Jacqueline Hollows and Beyond Recovery, but I saw this Mind Spa thing advertised with Paul Locke. I took my hypnotherapist with me, and we spent 3 days there, and it literally was just a mind spa. And I've never felt so alive, so peaceful, so loved as well. It was amazing.
So if anybody's watching this who has never been to a mind spa or doesn't know what a mind spa is, could you describe what it was like?
Yeah, I actually describe all this in the book as well. We walked into it's like a conference centre, but it was an equestrian centre, so there's horses and stuff around. And we walked into this room. There's literally just a load of chairs in a half circle, like half moon. 2 chairs at the front where Mama J, as I call her, Jacqueline Hollows, sat with Paul. I don't know, the feeling in that room before anyone even spoke was just one of just love. and connection. That's the most important thing, is just knowing you're all connected. And we just explored all sorts of things, about, even driving home. Why did you turn left and not right and stuff like that? And it really got me more intrigued and more, I need to know more about the principles and, how does this work? So, yeah.
And have you read much of Sydney Banks?
Yeah, a little bit. I listen to his lectures every single day about fail in the car. And the one thing I always say, I've got the Hawaiian lectures in the car on CD. And every single time I listen to them, I hear something different. There's times when I'm like, oh, I know what's going to be said next, and I say it word for word. But I literally have listened to them thousands of times now, probably. But there's always something different to hear. And it's always different depending on what state of mind you're in when you're listening to it as well. But I've read all Sid's books.
And we spoke about this before I hit record, but would you like to talk about what happened at Christmas? You had a bit of a lapse at Christmas. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, see, at the time, I didn't see it as a lapse or anything. I thought, it's Christmas Day. And I've been sober for 567 days. And our normal Christmas routine back in the day when I drank was we'd have black velvet. So that was like champagne and Guinness. So we did that this year, but it was alcohol free. And literally, I had a couple of those. And looking back on it now, at the time, it was just like, wow, that's nice. And it tastes like the real thing. I remember jumping in the bath and then going, do you know what? I'm going to have a drink today. And I didn't think there was any thinking on it. And I said that afterwards. I was like, well, there's no thought on it. But obviously, looking back, there must have been thought on it to even do that. I asked my daughter to go down the shop. And they were, okay, I was like, everything will be fine. I'll be fine. I can control it. So I had a bottle of brandy, then another bottle of brandy. And that's when the old me came back, the argumentative, person and all that. And it wasn't pretty. The next day, that was it. Just woke up. I was like, you don't need to do that again, then, do you? I fell out with Mama J. Don't even remember texting her or phoning her asking for help and all this sort of stuff. And it's all the sort of stuff I used to do when I was drunk. But I used to drink to the point where I'd black out. So I'd still be here talking, but not knowing what I'm actually doing, what's going on and stuff like that. And then to me, it really showed me that my habitual thinking was still there because, one's not enough. If you're going to drink, then do it, drink properly. And that's the thinking I had behind it. That's what I really see now. But again, I write about that in the book as well. There's a chapter on Christmas. And I think all it's done really is maybe more grounded now in the principles. Up until that day, up until Christmas Day, I think I must have had thinking about, can I ever drink again? Will I ever drink again? And I think that's probably why the ego came up with that excuse. Oh, it's Christmas. Why not? Valuable lesson.
And I know you've had experience with Alcoholics Anonymous in the past. How does that compare to Three Principles?
Ooh, it works for some people. I only ever went to one meeting and it just didn't work for me. Nothing clicked, nothing made sense. They were saying prayers at the end of it. I'm not a religious person. And it just, no. But I think the one thing the principles have taught me the most is I'm not always going to be an alcoholic. It's literally down to your state of mind. And it's really just taught me on how I can control what aspects of thoughts I think of. If I want to act on this or if I want to act on that. in addiction, it's so hard because you hear the voice, go and have a drink, go and do a line. And you believe it's true. Okay, I've got to do that because I'm an addict. This is me. And the one thing the principals has taught me is that's not true. You don't have to listen to those. If you had a thought about robbing a bank, you're not necessarily going to go and rob a bank, are you? And it's literally that. It teaches you that you don't have to listen to that. And that was the fundamental change for me. Really was. That was, the light bulb moment.
So if somebody came to you in the state you were in when you had all this suicidal ideation and you thought there's no point to anything, what would you say to them?
Let's have a chat. Plain and simple, let's have a chat. Let me see if I can guide you to your inner wisdom. I'm not here to help you. I'm not here to tell you the answers because I can't do that. But you do have the answers within you. We all do. So yeah, let's have a chat.
I'm just going to quickly look on YouTube to see if anyone's made any comments. While I'm doing that, I don't know if anybody else has got any questions or comments for Peter.
Yeah, I can ask a question actually, because the more I understand of this and where addictions and things like that come into play, there's usually a very valid, it seems, reason. It's there for a purpose. So when we look back, we can be really self-compassionate about the things that we were doing. So what role did self-compassion have for you, Pete?
I don't know, because I had a lot of people say to me, oh, you had child abuse and no wonder you drank, no wonder you took drugs. But no, I've never blamed that. For me personally, I think it was more of a case of I was taking speed every day so I could go to work, and I literally started drinking strong beer to go to sleep at night, to try and knock off the effect of the drugs. But I did that for years. And of course, that then became habit, which then was an addiction. Because by the end, it was like, well, I can't get out of this. I'm stuck in it. I'm an addict, obviously. I'm an alcoholic and I'm all these labels. So, yeah, I've never blamed anything of my past, my childhood, or anything like that, as strangely as it sounds. But for me, and again, I'll put that in the book, it literally purely was because I was working 7 days a week and as many hours as I possibly could, because the more I worked, the more I painted. I'm an addict, obviously. I'm an alcoholic and I'm all these labels. Cool. So, yeah, I've never blamed anything of my past, my childhood, or anything like that. Playing that back, Emery. Strangely as it sounds. But for me, and again, I'll put that in the book.
Sorry, wait a minute.
Like there's two of me.
Sorry, I had YouTube on at the same time, so it was like I tried to put mute on, and then I tried to close it down, and then it didn't seem to close down properly. So anyway, sorry about that.
No, that's fine. I lost my trail of thought now. But no, as I say, for me, it was literally the more hours I could stay awake painting and decorating, the more money I had. Simple as. But as the years went on, the weekends and stuff, if I had a day off, it could be like 7 o'clock in the morning. I'd be like, sorry, I'll have a beer. It's all right. And that's how it just crept in and then just carried on. But I'd always go to work. I'd never drink during the day whilst I was working. It'd be after work. But then I'd make up for not drinking during the day. But as I say, if it was a Saturday or a Sunday, then I'd drink all day and all night. So, yeah. I hope that answers your question.
We use the word blame, which is different from being compassionate about the behaviour, I guess, in my book. It's not about blaming something, it's about were you compassionate towards yourself now with this understanding?
Now, definitely, yeah. I've actually got a family member who's going through exactly the same. I've shared my videos, I've shared my book with this individual, but there's nothing else I can do. It's not my responsibility, but I've got compassion and love for where they're at because I've been there, and I'm just hoping that they get an insight from everything I've been doing, that something can click within them. But yeah, I've got so many scars on my body for I used to stab myself and cut myself because I hated myself. But now I've got so much love for myself and respect for myself. It's untrue. And every day I'm posting on Facebook how much I love myself and the world. But it's true. You know, I've gone from this person that literally couldn't bear to be here and couldn't even bear to see my reflection in the mirror, to now, yeah. Do I wish it had, yeah. I always said, you know, when I first came across this understanding, I wish I'd known it sooner. But I don't think it would have helped sooner, because I'll be of no use to anyone else. I needed to go through all that to now be where I'm at, to then go and help others. If that makes sense.
Sure does to me. Thanks, Pete.
You're welcome.
I've worked out it makes more sense if I look at YouTube on this rather than on my computer. I started hearing it in stereo, delayed stereo. It's like, oh, I don't know what to do. So that lesson learned for next time I do this.
I'm in IT, but don't talk to me about tech.
You're an IT consultant as well, aren't you? Or an IT expert?
So don't talk to me about tech. Little one's going mad.
I'll just put myself on mute.
She's sharing her voice.
I know, I wish she'd have an inner voice. Enough now, Molly, you're all done.
Is there any other questions?
I can't think of anything now. I've sort of, let's have a little think. You said you drink too much tea now. It's afternoon tea week.
I do drink a lot of tea. I love tea. It's got to be Yorkshire tea, though.
Yeah, mine's Yorkshire tea as well.
Yeah, it's the only tea I drink.
Even got a posh cup and saucer, especially for the occasion, which will please my mother, because she hates seeing it when she sees me drink out of mugs on here. She thinks it's common to drink from a mug, so, you know. Should drink from a glass. Okay.
Well, as I say, hopefully the book is coming out January. We haven't got a set date yet. But yeah, as all the proceeds are being donated to a 3PGC. We spoke to Bonnie about that. Just a note, you know, they can do something great with it. And, you know, just get this message out there to more people.
And is there anything else other than the book that you're doing? Are you going to be doing any sort of launch parties or?
Oh yeah, there will be. I'm not organising that though.
To everybody else.
Yeah, there will be closer to the time. Yeah, but yeah, no, it's just, you know, stirring up a bit of excitement. You know, obviously coming on your show. I know Joe wants me on his show, I think next month. Joe Bailey. So yeah, it's just stirring up a bit of interest, and then obviously redoing it, you know, late December, early January. And so yeah, I hope the book can sell a lot of copies. More importantly, I hope the book can save a lot of people. You know, really show them, you know, where the answers are inside. So yeah.
Are you having a photo shoot as well? Did you say something about that to me recently? Or have?
Yeah, 23rd. I've got a photo shoot for the cover of the book. So yeah, that should be exciting.
You'll have to get your proper modelling poses out.
Oh right, yeah. I don't know about that, but
what is this? Under the blue steel, that's it. Your blue steel look.
But no, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. As I say, there's still some bits to do on the book. I'm waiting for some acknowledgements to come in still from people I've asked. I'm waiting for Mama J, Jacqueline Hollows. She's writing the forward for me kindly. And she's such a huge part of my life. I thought it was only fitting to ask her to do it, to be fair. So yeah, I'm excited, but I'm more excited that people will reach out I've got my details in the back of the book so they can reach me directly as well. Yeah, just see if we can change some lives.
Hope so.
Fingers crossed.
And so, but where are you seeing? I know you said before, but you're seeing it in doctor's surgeries, things like that. But
yeah, I literally want to give away as many copies as I personally can afford. Obviously, I've got to buy the copies myself; they're not free. But yeah, I've already spoke to my doctor, and he wants copies. He's obviously got people on the books that he wants to give them to. So yeah, police stations as well. See you later, Linda. Take care. Thank you. Yeah, just anyone who really wants a copy.
Okay. So as Linda's left, it's done it differently. Normally when I do Zooms and I record them, it seems to have done it differently on YouTube Live, but it's shown all three of us. So it's obviously going to show the whole gallery rather than just the one person. So now Linda's gone. I know we've got another person on the Zoom, but he's staying quiet at the moment. So I'll just close down YouTube and open it up again just in case anybody's asked any questions on there. But if not, then we'll call it a day. I'll do it on here this time. Lesson out from the last one. Your channel. There's people watching, but nobody other than me has put any comments. So we'll call it a day with that then. And you're going to be talking to somebody else later on tonight. Is that going to be publicised anywhere or recorded?
I think it's on Facebook.
Okay.
Just trying to find the details. I know it's on 8 o'clock.
People are watching this live, they might want to jump on it.
Yeah, it's the guy from Missing in Action. So Missing in Action.
Is that the Facebook page, Missing in Action?
I think it's the Facebook page, yeah.
And that's from 8 o'clock tonight.
Yeah, 8 till 9, I think.
So people live and want to see you again tonight, they can jump on that at 8 o'clock.
Thanks, Anne-Marie. Thanks for having me.
Anyway, see you soon.
Take care. Cheerio.
Bye.